right. So now we are going to launch into Unit 3, and in the start of this unit, we're going to talk about composing functions, right? And when we start about talking about composing functions, right, it's what you get when you add, subtract, multiply, divide, and then there's some other kind of funky things we can do with functions. And so today we are going to talk about adding and subtracting functions, and it's pretty straightforward. I think most of you will grasp it pretty well. We actually did a lot of this already. Now we're just kind of giving it a new name and showing you maybe why we might do it. Okay, why some of the things you did. Yeah, why you did them. So this is lesson 1. Your learning target is I can create new functions by adding and subtracting existing functions together. We will talk about function vocabulary notation and do a little quick review of that, and then we'll just get into adding and subtracting functions. And throughout all this, we will also be talking about our good friends domain and range. So let's get cooking here. All right, so function is a relation between two sets that pairs each input with exactly one output. That's the really important thing there, is that you're getting only one output, right, for that. And so that's what distinguishes a function from a relation. All right, a function is a type of relation, okay, and like we said, it has for every input there's exactly one output, no more. Okay, so let's take a look at this. All right, so we've got this function here, right? F of x equals negative 2x to the fourth plus 1, which you should be kind of familiar with from what we did with polynomials. All right, and then we've got a little function table here, and so what we've got here is these are all the inputs. This is x. This is basically what you put into this. You substitute these numbers in here, and then these are the numbers you get back. So when you put negative 2 in here, right, well, you would have negative 2 times, I'm not going to do this for everyone, but I'm just going to show you. You have negative 2 times negative 2 to the fourth power, because you substitute this in for whatever x is. And negative 2 to the fourth power is 16. 16 times negative 2 is negative 32, and you have negative 32 plus 1. And that's how they got negative 31. And then they did that with these additional values, and when they did that, they were able to, you know, get something together and plot a parabola with that, right? A little different from how we plotted them, but it shows the same thing, and it shows exactly what what a function is. And so you have your inputs right here, right? These are your inputs, and then these are your outputs. Okay, and then we'll also be talking about this, and we'll also refer to the inputs and any of the x values as your domain, all right, and then your y values or your f of x. F of x, remember, f of x is another way of saying y, right? Those outputs are always your range, right? Your y values are your range, okay, and so we will be talking quite a bit about that. And so domain is the set of all, and we can put this a couple different ways, so I'm going to do that. So it's the set of all x values, all right? That's the first way I would write it, you know, but another way you can write it is also the set of all inputs, all right? So a set of all x values is the set of all your inputs, right? Your range is the set of all your resulting y values that you get, or to put it in other language, all of your outputs. So it's your set of your outputs for a function, right? And so we'll talk about kind of like what does that look like, and yeah, and all of that, and resultantly, right? So the big thing here is just to remember we're going to be using this domain and range. The way I remember domain and range, right, is if you think about the way we have a set of points written, right? We have x, y, right? If you think about domain, right, well, x, first of all, the way we can remember x and y is it's alphabetical, right? It's alphabetical. And that's nice because X comes before Y in the alphabet. Well, domain, if you think about it like this, is D and R, right? Your domain alphabetically comes before R, right? D comes before R. So that's one way to kind of think of it. Maybe that helps you a little bit. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But hopefully it does. So that's actually how I remember it. So maybe that mnemonic works for you. Okay, so we are going to stop the vid here, and we will pick up with the next part of the lesson in a moment.